Welcome back to the channel and to another Diablo 4 video. Starting off, players are starting to finally feel the burnout once hitting level 70 and have some interesting theories for the endgame. We're also talking about uniques and how rare they really are. We have some server downtime and warning to hardcore players, and we have some pretty interesting information to help you succeed in the endgame of Diablo 4. So let's begin. Oh, and by the way, if you do enjoy any of the content on the channel, do leave a like, and more importantly, if you'd like to see more content like this, a subscribe will go a long way. Alright, check out this post from Reddit. You're vastly more likely to die falling out of bed than to get a Sheko. This is a unique item if you guys aren't aware. People who are talking about target farming these super rare uniques are just, let's say, ignorant of just how abstract the mathematics are on getting these items. There's a saying that goes, the lottery is a tax on stupid people, and it seems to apply here. It's just not going to drop for you and the chances are effectively zero. Stop wasting your time. Even if it did, it would be financially irresponsible not to sell your account. Now that's an interesting take because honestly, Sheko is extremely rare, and according to what the dev said yesterday, or I think it was 2 days ago, that it is only 6 of them available in the game as of right now. There may have been 1 or 2 that's added since then, but there are 6 of these super rare items. This include the Grandfather Sheko, Harley Quinn mask, all the pretty insane ones. There's only 6 total in the game right now, and players are putting in millions of hours. It's pretty insane. It's possibly too rare in my opinion, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Now there was a comment I wanted to go over in response to this, and it says, "This is something I find pretty disappointing about the game as well. There are very few uniques that actually change the playstyle of a build in a cool way. Alternatively, it seems most of them just buff a skill in a way that makes it seem like the skill build was designed with the unique in mind versus the opposite. Other uniques just add more stats. The 2 rarest chase uniques in the game are just powerful stat sticks." And I have to agree with this. This is one thing that I thought about, and I think Zizran said this too in one of his reviews for Diablo, that he was concerned that the uniques in the game weren't going to really add much to the game. As it stands now, like, don't get me wrong, like when I made my Necromancer build for the Bone Spear, like, I love Deathless Visage. Is a great addition to the build, but all it does is just basically increase the stats, and you'll see a lot of that in the game. Like, for example, Razorplate, it just gives you more thorns. Harley Quinn mask, it gives you like a lot of base stats, and it gives you plus the skills. At the moment, the uniques are fun in terms of like giving you benefits, but when it comes down to actually like making it more meaningful, there's just nothing unique about them. They don't change the way skills work. Like, imagine if my Bone Spear like applied chill. I mean, that sounds terrible because it functionally it doesn't really do anything. My point is like something completely different and new, and just make the build to feel unique. At the moment, there's, in my opinion, nothing that does that. I guess the closest thing to that is like the druid stuff that kind of make them sustain a form, but outside of that, everything is just additional stats, and it feels kind of boring. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Do you think the uniques are cool, or would you like to see like actual ability changing uniques, or even more so, would you like to actually see more in the game? Because 6 in the game right now, after the amount of time people are putting in, is pretty insane to me. Alright, shifting gears here a little bit, I want to give you guys this really quick resource. I know I actively have been putting a lot of resources on the channel to make sure that you guys are prepared for whenever Season 1 come out, or when you get to endgame, so you're not wasting your time. But check this one out. It's called the Quick Chart for Focus Farming. It looks like the person showcased which creature drops it, the items that you're looking for, and where to get it in terms of like the Nightmare Dungeon and the tier of the Nightmare Dungeon if you're looking for this item. It's really nice that they put it together, so I'm gonna have this again down in the description for you guys to follow, and it'll be a little bit of a resource for you guys to be able to just target farm gear a little bit more effectively. Now, if you guys are not aware, as of today and tomorrow, there has been some patches going in on the server that's been affecting the servers in a interesting way. A lot of cases you can actually continue to play. Originally, I believe the server was actually supposed to go down. You guys weren't going to be able to play, but this team was able to basically get it so that they can just upload it while you're online, and it's not a big deal. But unfortunately, if you are a hardcore player or a player who has like generally bad connection issues, you may want to be a little bit careful in these next couple of days, as the servers are going to be taking a bit of a hit Obviously, being able to actually stay online so that everyone can continue to play is valuable. Just be very careful because it could be a frustrating situation coming in the next couple of days. Now, I will have down in the description, as you can see on the screen, some of the time zones and whatnot for you guys to be able to like know when maintenance is happening for whenever players who are playing hardcore or not are playing, so you're a little bit more prepared. But yeah, I'll have it down in the link in the description. Alright, on to the next thing, and this one's a bit of a chaos theory, but not really. Check it out. They cut out level 70 to 100 content to have something for Season 1 update. Changed my mind. Now check out these responses because I thought they were a little bit funny. Blizzard will be celebrating adding another stash tab or gem inventory big time. I'm indeed 3. There was seasonal achievements during several different seasons for getting a +1 to stash tab, so this might not be far off, lol. Now, I didn't play Diablo 3 too often, so let me know, guys, if this is the case. Were there like actual stash tab achievements? Because that could like kind of make sense to why there's only 4 stash tabs, and they kind of want to do like, oh look, we're adding stash tabs as an achievement and like purposefully like inconveniencing us. I hope that's not the case because that sounds terrible. But even more so to the actual initial point, which was the game being like level 70 to 100 being like no content. I mean, it's some content, but it's really not. I didn't actually think this comment was too crazy because like when I came into Diablo 4, I kind of figured the game was going to be like this, whether it was going to be a little bit barren on the end game, and then once the seasons rolled out, there was going to be more content. Now, I have heard some theories, and even some people in my Discord, Graham specifically told me last night that he felt like they should have left it at level 80 being the max level, and then once season 1 rolled out, that they should add the 80 to 100 where you can actually do whatever is going to be happening in season 1. Now, I will say, while I think that's a great idea, Grim, I will say I hope that season 1 is a banger. It absolutely has to be a big banger, because if you've noticed from like a lot of the player base, especially the more casual players who are slowly transitioning into the end game, they're starting to feel the burnout that a lot of us who's been playing a lot are feeling. And now a lot of the ones who do play a lot are the ones that do play other games where they're used to just kind of doing a lot of the same thing. But I will say that season 1 has to be a big banger. It has to have a lot of content in the end game, or at least something meaningful, because right now, as far as I think the community is perceiving it, they're not very happy about restarting characters. They're not very happy about the lack of content, and they're not very happy about the grind between 70 and 100. I'm not happy about it, and I'm used to it. Now, I will say that I believe Adam Fletcher or Joey Pibior said something to the effect of, I'll probably go look up the tweet and put it on the screen, but they said something to the effect of that season 1 will have XP bonuses and boosts. Not just a boost, but XP bonuses in general, so that you can actually level faster. So I hope that actually is meaningful and helps you guys level faster, because I gotta say, a lot of the community is feeling some burnout. But let me know down in the comments, or how do you feel? Are you burning out too, or are you still playing? Are you looking at other games? Like, obviously on my channel I'm doing a lot of like other games too, Starfield and stuff. That's not to say that I'm not gonna play Diablo 4, of course. This is gonna be like one of my main games of all like playing, but I know that the game isn't prepared to be a full-time game, so that's why I'm adding like other games to it. But yeah, let me know what you guys let me know what you guys are playing, because I could do that for research. Alright, on to the final news of the day. Check this one out. Who else want to make an alt but won't due to stash tab issues? I'm playing a druid but really want to play all the classes as I enjoy the story and the leveling experience. However, every time I think about making a new character, I look at the limited storage space with the legendaries I'm saving for my druid and don't do it. In all previous Diablo games, I always thoroughly enjoyed playing multiple characters and experimenting with different builds. I am just curious how many people out there is in the same boat as me. Now, I will say I actually had this problem a week ago, and a lot of players in my comment section were like, well, why do you need so many stash tabs? Now, I guess I play like 6 characters right now, so it was easier for me to fill up on my stash, but it's kind of funny to see a lot of players are slowly starting to feel that burnout I had a week ago when it comes to like the stash problems, because like quality of life sucks in Diablo 4. Like, I love the game, but at the end of the day, quality of life is like terrible in the game. And a lot of players are slowly starting to feel a lot of the pain just in general, not just from the stat tabs, but just the level 70 stuff that a lot of players were talking about a week ago. A lot of the people who are slowly catching up are starting to feel these pains, the unique drops, the farming, the stash, the characters. Like it's slowly getting there, and unless season 1 is a banger, it's gonna really be a pain. But yeah, they definitely need to add more stash tabs. I hope it's not a case of we're trying to like incentivize stash tabs. I don't think they're gonna do like a pay thing. I hear that floating around too. I don't think they're like trying to make the game pay to win in that regard. But yeah, stash tabs, really need to get on top of it. It's hard to make alts right now. I really want to make a couple of builds, but I simply cannot because I do not have the space for it. Alright, on to my favorite part of the video. This is responding to your comments. So again guys, if you have any comments, leave them down below because there's a good chance that it'll be in the video if they're interesting and meaningful. I literally read every single one of them, but you could be put in the video. To our first commenter, this is Joe Reuter, and it reads, I am frustrated with the general lack of QC. For instance, when you are looking at an item, there is no reason for half of them to cover up your character's stats. Sorry, I giggled there, but that's just an experience I feel. Mostly enjoying the game still. Something like this are just brush league. And then there was a response by Antidepressivia 1980, interesting name. So true, not being able to see my basic stats when comparing to items. UI in general is plain dog crap and lazy. I hate the UI, seriously, it is garbage. Now, I gotta admit, I mean, I love Diablo 4, guys. You know, I'm always gonna be here to talk about the game and be a neutral party when it comes to things. I call the BS out and I call out, you know, the positive stuff and like try to be neutral. But man, the UI, everything is terrible. The fact that there's no basic search feature in the stash is just mind-boggling. Like I know I talk about a lot of ARPGs, but Last Epoch, Wilson, a lot of these other games have very simple search features, like very basic features like numbering things, labeling things, stats that actually line up in a meaningful way and not randomly. Like there has to be something that they're like, I don't like putting my tinfoil hat on, but goddamn guys, there's no way a AAA studio like Blizzard doesn't know how to add this in the game. I just don't believe that. They have to be doing it for like points for the community, and you know goddamn well that a lot of people are gonna praise them for it. But yeah, holy, they really got to get the quality of life. It's really bigger. In my opinion, the quality of life is bigger than the lack of content in the end game. Alright, next comment is by Boogie Nights Mark Wahlburn 6011. You guys' names are so stupid. How the hell do you come up with this? Blizz blaming their own stealth nerf hotfix causing issues for players on a DDoS is cute. Not sure what you mean by this. I do not believe that Blizzard is actually trying to self-nerf it. I actually genuinely believe that they weren't trying to do it. I do think that the game fundamentally has some issues, but like surely they're not nerfing Hoda. Like Hoda is a great skill right now, but the damage that it does is just enough, in my opinion, to be effective in the game. And if you nerf Hoda, like what else is there to play on Barb? Because you're not playing double swing, you're not playing, what are the other core skills? I don't even play them. I play them so little, I don't even know the name of them. The other whatever core skill is, Rend is pretty good single target, but it has terrible AoE. Anyway, the point is, I don't think they're nerfing Hoda because like I don't think the skill does enough. And I do remember they were doing DDoS issues. They had DDoS issues whenever the new WoW came out, so that could just be a DDoS attack. I don't believe Blizzard's like actively trying to be bad. I don't think they're actively trying to nerf. I think they seen a lot of feedback from the community that was like, yo, stop nerfing stuff, and people are getting upset about it. And I think that they're actively trying to buff things. But yeah, interesting comment. Alright, this comment is from Watson, and he says, the game has been out for 3 weeks. Jesus Christ, you gamers cry so much. Alright, listen up, Watson. I need you to understand something. The game has been out for 3 weeks, that's fair. But not having a basic UI feature in a game that's from a AAA studio that's been doing this since before I was born, and probably a lot of you were born, is not excusable. Having only one build for a lot of classes doing really well is crazy. Like, if you've seen the sorceress tree, there is a reason why that they use nothing but ice in most cases. If anyone else using anything else is just straight up memeing because it just has no value. There are so many things right now in Diablo 4 that is fundamentally broken, and like I can even live with that whole like everyone's using the same exact skills, because like that's gonna take time to balance in a meaningful way, in my opinion. I do think the vulnerable thing is kind of stupid, but the rest of it, fair enough. But when we're talking about basic quality of life features like a search bar, being able to see your glyphs name, see your paragon board name, see just how things are stored in your stash in a meaningful way, like that is basic stuff that a lot of basic ARPGs have. And this is a AAA studio that has over $1 billion from making this game. That is not excusable, Watson, in no way. And to the final comment, this is from Ziza8603. This launch feels like it was nothing more than an extended beta before seasons go live. They have a lot to think about before seasons go live. I hope they get it right, and I kind of echo this. To some extent, yeah, it does feel like an extended beta, and they really do have to hit a home run. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I actually didn't even see this comment until now. But yeah, they definitely have to do well on season 1, because I feel like this is the big breaking point for the game. A lot of the casual players are starting to slowly get into the end game, and they're starting to feel the grind, and like the grind is tough. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I grinded a lot in Path of Exile and a lot of other ARPGs. The grind in Diablo is it'll break you, and they really got to make season 1 feel good. Players are losing their characters. There's only like really 1 or 2 builds for most classes. It's not looking good, in my opinion, in its current state, but hopefully this huge hotfix really put things in perspective and help everything, and then the season 1 is a home run. But right now, you're absolutely correct. Hope they get it right. They have to get it right, because it can really make or break season 1 in the future of Diablo 4 for like a meaningful amount of time. All right, and there you have it, guys. That is all we have for today. Again, feel free to support the channel by liking and subscribing. If you are watching the video up until this point and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? You may as well subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video very, very soon. Later.